What's up, y'all? This is Jason Nelson, host of the Poor People's Podcast. Right now I'm sitting here, got my winking eye from all these. $2.95 plus tax. The official wine of the Poor People's Podcast. Tastes poor. How y'all doing, man? I'm just checking in with y'all today. This is episode 1 of Poor People's Podcast. We talk about everything that's poor. Yeah, I know about being poor. I grew up poor. I made poor decisions. I had poor ass thoughts, poor ass conversations, usually hanging out with poor ass people. So therefore, I'm poor. And that's why I'm pouring this wine into this glass. Poor people discussions. Talking about other people's lives. In the NBA, James Harden want to go to the Nets. But then again, that ain't my business. I'm broke. But then again, it's the Poor People's Podcast, and that's what we're discussing. Poor people things. Like COVID-19. Is it a conspiracy? Is it real? People are actually dying from it? Yeah, but is an agenda attached to it? Who knows? Feels like it. Ticketmaster want us to take vaccines. And before we go to a concert or show you that we've tested negative for COVID. Sounds like a HIPAA violation. But because we're poor, we don't have a choice. Poor People's Podcast. Now, with that being said, I've noticed it's been an increased amount of poor white people. Way more visible than ever before. I'm not saying that poor white people are new, but they're kind of spilling over into the black communities. And we don't really need that. We kind of have our own poor people. I know a lot of you all come from upper middle class homes. You did some drugs, and now you think hanging around us, asking for change is the way to go about it? No. We're not going to support you. Poor People's Podcast. Anyway. Yeah, this particular flavor, because I don't drink hard liquor anymore now. But I gradually decided to no longer drink hard liquor because I don't want to be poor anymore. And when I pour too much Henny or tequila or Ciroc, I make poor ass decisions like, poor dog, be quiet. Anyway, I make poor ass decisions like sending DMs, text messaging, calling people that I know are asleep because I was drunk from pouring up too much. Poor People's Podcast, hosted by Jason Nelson. Seen Kevin Hart comedy special on Netflix. I woke up about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it. Of course, I'm finna talk about them because it's what poor people do. We talk about other people instead of focusing on ourselves and improving our own life. I honestly thought this was pretty funny. It was called Zero Fucks Giving. I did like the conversation about his children. Like, I don't want to give it away if you haven't seen it. One of the poor decisions I've made. Getting with someone before I even knew who the fuck I was. And it cost me. Poor People Podcast. Shout out Five Below. My lamp right here. My wireless cell phone charger came from Five Below. These came from Five Below. This mic that doesn't work into my phone also came from Five Below. And the light, the other, whatever those little circle lights, Five Below. The inches of my dick. Poor People Podcast. Yeah. Well, I made some poor ass decisions today. I was blessed by God. I was able to earn some money, some income. The pig ear said, please stop that. Stop having a poor spirit. We're not playing right now. I'm talking to my poor little dog. We're not playing right now. You're not eating to the morning because you was overeating at the beginning of quarantine. That's how we both got fat. Okay? You eat once a day right now. Okay? All right, you poor little thing. Poor People's Podcast. I have a poor puppy. Need a bath. Your fur stinks. Smell poor. You know, I stopped hanging around poor people. Because they say if you hang around 5 poor people, you'll be the 6th one. So far, I'm just hanging by myself. And it's like I'm the 6th one still. It's crazy. Now, I know it's levels to poor because there's going to be people like, if you poor, you wouldn't be like, come on, man. I ain't stupid. I know it's levels to poordom. It's various levels, okay? I'm blessed. I know that I'm blessed. All right. I just make poor decisions that keep me from being wealthy. Now I'm getting better. Why my eyes look like I don't even smoke weed? It's crazy. Am I tired? Anyway, I'm making progression. But one of the poor things I do is whether it's triggered by feeling overwhelmed or anxiety or boredom or I'll be doing good, then I lose faith in my progression. I'm making a rational ass decision that sets me back. It's pretty poor. But what I decided to do to break the mode of being poor was to buy me this equipment. Like instead of me buying hard liquor like I had in the past, I'm going to buy equipment that I can use to help me prosper. Now, black people, we have to come together as these white people are losing their homes in foreclosure, and I know we can purchase them. We have to keep these communities clean. We have to cut our grass, pick up trash. We might have to stop making poor ass decisions. If you live in the suburbs, you don't have to be a gangster. It doesn't make you less of a man for not being a gangster. And I'm not saying because people who live in poor neighborhoods are automatically gangsters and thugs. I'm just saying that when you live in a safe environment, don't make it bit worse. Don't just smoke all day and stink and smell like nicotine and cigarettes and Black and Miles and shit. Like, wash your clothes. Do shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You know those niggas wear the same shit every day. And you're like, bro, why you living like you poor and you wasn't raised it? Now, you may not be rich, but you're not poor. Now this shit is pretty bitter.